We just heard the inspiring music of Pops Mohammed playing the kora there. And we have another special guest in the studio, Danny Kay, who joins us as we share some of the spirit of Madiba. And I think Madiba was very much alive in music, wasn't he? We've got struggle songs on the one side, and we've got the Madiba drive on the other. He was one with music, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think musicians loved Madiba, and he loved musicians equally, and that's why it was so easy for him to call on the music community to step up whenever it was needed. When 46664 campaign was launched, myself and a host of artists from around South Africa and around the world would come at a moment's notice to sing for Tata. So and
not just for a celebration, for a cause very often as well.
Absolutely. I think anything that Madiba touched embodied a cause. There was always something bigger and more significant behind it. And
Pops, you must have many a story sharing with Madiba.
Yes, I remember the very first time I met Madiba when we were playing at a rally for the ANC in Soweto many years ago, before he was president. And he came backstage and we had all these traditional instruments. And he comes and he says, you guys are really kicking it. And he asked me, are you playing all these instruments? I said, yes. And he says, I'm very proud of you. You should keep on playing these instruments to remind us to remind the youth where they're coming from. Yeah. And it's not an easy task in the commercial world, but you have to carry this flag. And you have to teach the young ones.
And just looking at what's happening around the country and the celebration as well as the outpouring of grief, you see many ululating, you see people actually dealing with their loss through music. It is significant, isn't it?
And then also I have a very fond memory of him when we played for his 75th birthday. Because I introduced him that day, asked, what's your name? I said, Pops Mohammed. He says, okay, are you guys good? We said, yes. So on his 75th birthday, it was arranged, I think, by Welcome Umsomi that me and Madiba should carry his birthday cake onto the stage. And he walked in backstage and he looked at me and he smiled. He says, Popo. And I didn't have the guts to say, no, it's Pops Mohammed, so he called me Popo. So we carried the cake and he was limping on the one side. And as we walked onto stage, the cake sort of slided and he went, Popo, 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 be careful. And I lifted it up slightly and I said, it's on your side. He says, no, it's on your side. And he laughed at me and we took it, the cake. 2 years later, I was fortunate again. We went to London. We invited again to go and perform there. And Madiba at Buckingham Palace in the back of the garden somewhere, I don't know, I don't remember where it was, but he was presented with a golden spade to plant the tree of hope. And we had the Xhosa ladies from his village who I've been touring with at the time, and they were singing these praise songs to Madiba, and trying to get his attention. And he looked and he smiled at the ladies, and I was just filming with my camera. And as he came towards us, he was greeting the ladies, and he walked towards me, and I turned off my camera because I don't want to film him in his face. And he looked at me and says, Popo. So
he knew. He always remembered people, didn't he?
He
He'd come up to you and he'd
people.
say, do you remember me? And there he was, this world-renowned figure. Danny, you must have many a story as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was very fortunate, like Pops, that we got to spend time with Tata. I think my favourite memory of Madiba was at the 46664 DVD launch. We were launching it, we weren't sure if he was going to come, and I was on stage with Joseph Shabalala from Ladysmith Black Mambazo. We were doing a song called Homeless, and out of the wings, Madiba emerged kind of behind us, and started his very iconic dance to a song that actually wasn't a dance song at all.
But he made music out of everything.
But he just couldn't help but move, and the whole spirit of that performance was enormously lifted. But Madiba did, like you say, he had that amazing ability to make you feel important. When you were so intimidated by his presence, and very few...
Because he was a big man physically as well, not just in his aura.
And I think he was aware of how in awe people were in his presence, and he was so soft and gentle and patient with you. And I've seen the biggest stars in the world turn into children around Madiba, absolutely just fall apart. And he was always very aware of that and kind about that.
Yeah, he was. And when people say he let his legacy continue, we're hearing that a lot, and you sort of wonder what those words really mean. Pops, what do you think it means to us, to you?
It means a lot. I was just thinking about it this morning when he says, let his legacy live on. I'm just saying to myself and to the people out there that I think Madiba's legacy or his career has only just begun. The only difference is that we are now taking over. And I think his journey has started now only, and it's a big job.
Well, may his voice live through music.
Yes,
what do we say?
Exactly.
Well. The
He
show
loved
must go on.
music.
The show must go on.
The show must go on, absolutely.
Well, thank you very much. Pops, if we get a chance, we'd love to actually share with the public your music. You've got a new CD out. It's been inspired by
I've got a new
Mandela.
CD out which was inspired by Nelson Mandela about indigenous music. It's called Southern Rhythms All Stars.
Certain Rhythms All Stars.
All
Well, gentlemen,
Stars.
thank you very much
Yes.
for joining us.
Thanks,
Thank
Dan.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Let
you.
the music
Thank
continue.
you.
Amazing memories. We all know how much Madiba loved music, even the initiative of the 46664 concerts, and to have musicians like Pops and Danny share these memories, absolutely humbling. Since the start of this broadcast, we've received so many messages from our viewers on our SMS line as well as on social media. So let's take a look at some of them. I've got one that says, in his lifetime, Madiba carried his baton with dignity. In death, he passed the baton to each and every South African. Carry it with pride. And that's coming in from @Reality. At Luno Bruno says, Madiba, our father, our leader, our pride and joy. Hope your passing awakens a nation to follow in your footsteps. Peters Yanko says, Madiba, South Africa's pride and world icon. And Tebe Love says, Tata Madiba Mandela was the light that God has provided for us, and surely the light lit bright with pride. Long live the spirit of Tata. And last one is Moniage One, who says, died with pride, honor and freedom. He is Nelson Madiba Mandela. Yes, he is Nelson Madiba Mandela. Thank you so much for those messages. And please keep them coming on twitter.com/SABC3 Madiba, on facebook.com/SABC3 Madiba. Also send us your messages on our SMS line 32728. The cost of your SMS is R1, and begin your message with the word Madiba, followed by a space, and then your message. As we have just heard these musicians, music played a significant role in the fight against injustice. We can name musicians like Abdullah Ibrahim, Miriam Makeba, and many others who were part of a generation of musicians who shared the plight of the South African people with the rest of the world through their music. They too became leading lights, which exposed the beauty of South African music globally. Let's listen to the enigmatic sounds of the Soweto Gospel Choir with a piece called Vuma, which means to accept the Savior, and further that the one who has passed on is indeed entering the doors to heaven.
Vuma, 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 vuma.